should. Okay, Mel, inside my guard. Really easy, full guard. So this is one of the things that kind of separates BJJ from wrestling and judo, is that we're allowed to close our legs behind the back. We're allowed to keep our back onto the ground. And by definition, I'm in a far superior position than Mel as far as the BJJ goes. For two reasons is I have more attack systems. I have sweep systems where Mel does have minor attack systems, but her job is to try and get outside of my guard. So we're going to do a little bit of a drill first of all. And what we're going to do is we're just going to get a grip. I do like to get a cross grip, but not the same grip. I'll explain this in a second. So if I grab my hand in now, it's below the neckline, so I can't get, but if I tension and pull forward, I'm working alongside Mel's frame system, which means that if Mel frames up against me and I pull here and she resists, I'm with her frame system. So what I want to do is I want to try and get my elbow out so that it comes in and I can get my hand nice and deep in the collar. More that I pull this down, the tighter it is against the neck, the harder it is to put my hand inside. So first thing I do is I get my grip, I'll flare my hand open and I pull forward with my knees, my hand, and it goes in nice and tight. Don't let go, keep it nice and tight from here. What we're going to do now is my partner is going to try and just get a little bit of posture and try and sit back up. So my job is just keep a pin nice and tight. We're just going to do this for like 3 or 4 seconds. One or two things are going to happen is she's either going to post up because she's stronger than me, she's not going to, or she's going to end up trying to push her hands away from my stump to push the bicep or the ground or whatever. So my job right now is just to simply keep control of my partner to look for my attacks. So one more time from here. And you don't have to do this hard. This is done like a boa constrictor. It's more like a slow, methodical way of doing it than more of like a jerky white belt. Okay, so from here, elbow up high, hand goes in, called go fishing. So keep my hand open, tension, elbows come in. And my partner's just going to try and get posture, so try and get their head to the ceiling. And my job is kind of keep tight. Now, if they're stronger than me, I can simply come up with them as well, but I want to keep this gap nice and low. Okay, grab your partner, guys. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So what we're going to do this time, come around this side, guys, easy to see, is we're still dealing with the hand position. What I find for me is that anytime I kind of break my part down and I get my grip on the inside, my partner can swing their hands over my arm and push my hand down the grip break, which means it's easier for them to start to get posture and grip break. There's a couple of gi passes or guard passes that use this technique. So one of the things I want to do is, once my legs are on my partner, I open my partner up and I get my grip. Once I try and break my partner down, I'm going to rehash my top hand. So here, my hand goes to the back, my thumb goes in the back, and I'm trying to keep my wrist down the spine line. So now, the weight is on the top of Andrew's head, which makes it harder for him to pick me up, versus the hand that's in front, which he can lift his head and get good spinal position as well. So we're going to try and break our partner down. I put my thumb onto the back, so thumb goes in back, and I keep my hand on this side from here. What we're going to do, nice and light, is I transfer my hand, 4 fingers into this side, as deep as we can to the armpit. Now, as my partner tries to post up, I swing to the side, and I see my first choke. It's a super tight choke. My wrists are both on the carotid. Yeah, and that's like a 5%, 10%. Because it's such a tight choke and on the carotid, it will pretty much put you to sleep.
Unintentionally.
Yeah.
You might find yourself just drifting off.
Yeah, but if you need a break from school, work, kids, whatever like that, this is the perfect time to do it.
If you're worried about going unconscious, just hold your hand up in the air. So if you do go unconscious, it falls down and you get 1 tap. That's what I was doing there because I was
Just me.
Okay.
So from here,
Just hit them twice.
just tap. Okay.
Just go for a sleep. It's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Permanent mark. Okay, so from here, now mind, I don't try and fight against the frame system. So my elbow comes up and I'm putting my knees forward, I get a grip from here. Once I break my partner down, my thumb goes into the back. This is the hardest part, is the timing. They're generally going to put their hands on me or on the ground to push. So I've got to swing my hand through nice and deep. Now, watch. Kick, offside, rehash. So I'm super tight. This means that if my partner does try to post up, the tension on the choke comes on even more. How'd that feel?
Great.
Awesome, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Just give Emma, stop my guard, please. So, jump on that side, guys, easy to see. Okay, so two things. Number one is I find this very, very hard to get my hand into the back of the collar when my partner has good posture, which we're going to cover in a second. So I can't go thumb into the back straight away. It's quite hard unless maybe they're doing a pressure pass or they're you know, like they're very bad at jiu-jitsu or they're very, very good at it. I don't know. Okay, so what I find from here is open up, goes in from here. The trouble is that sometimes is by the time I let go of this to try and put my thumb in the back, it is an issue, right? Go back in your posture. So we kind of go, hey, I'm going to use my brain instead of my body for a change. Okay, so hand goes out. If we go, thumb goes in first. Thumb goes in first, right? And then break my partner down, put my hand in underneath. So the choke's pretty much set already. If my partner kind of realizes, hey, this is a choke and swings the head, so like she goes, I'll get rid of choke. We're in the same system anyway. It does, and now, because she's swung ahead, I have the ability to put my hand back under. This will be the hardest part now as she goes, I understand I'm in the choke position and that I cannot let this hand come over the top. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to kick my legs back and long as hard as I can. I'm going to punch both of my hands down to my hip on the side that I'm locking, so which will be my left side. So I kick my legs on it, I'll punch my hands down long and straight and realign. So what I see people do is they try and bring the hand over the head, which is good, but my partner's got the control, I can't do it. But if I kick my partner down, now I know that the choke's pretty much on already, like I'm on your throat, and I just have to finish it off. So instead of me trying to bring the lasso over my head, sometimes it's better for me to create space to lasso. So we're going to do a small little change in the game, which is from here, grip, 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 elbow comes out, thumb goes in nice and deep. Control, hand goes in this side. Now, if they don't deal with it, we'll just apply our choke. So she does deal with it, so punch nice and low. Okay, so man, she's out of the choke, I'm offside. Punch your hands, punch your hands, punch your hands. Lasso, elbows come together, that's the key. Realign, slow squeeze. Does everyone cover that? Yeah, if you're not, like, just put your hand up and we'll come around and help you guys out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Postural balance, so we're gonna have a look at how to keep your balance inside someone's gut when they're trying to break you down. And there's a couple of ways that we do this. One of the things I got told was like when you're inside their guard, never ever put your hands on the ground, always keep your hands on your partner. I don't believe that's true nowadays. I think that, you know, there's a lot of guard passing where I can posture on the ground and post on the ground. I'm just going to grab Andrew out front. We're going to go side view on this one. So Andrew's onto his back, I'm inside his guard. Okay. So first of all, your structures or your frame system is generally what's going to save you from being broken down. The downfall about it is I'm locked into position. And this is the most common thing. It's like if Andrew tries to break me down, I just put my hands on like, no, 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 no. And it's this game where I'm like, no, no. So the doubt is I'm not getting anywhere. You know, and sooner or later, he's either going to get tired and choke me or, you know, like something like that. So one of the issues that we have from here is that anytime my knees are close together, I don't have a base side to side. So if Andrew simply swings his legs left or swings his legs right, you know, I don't have a base. Number two is, this is the second thing, is I do drop my knees down nice and wide, but people keep their weight forward because they don't want to get broken down. So by default, my shoulders and my head are over my hip line, which makes this the beautiful thing that we've practiced today. So what I want to do for me, if you think about it this way, is I want to try and kind of go get my knees nice and wide and take my hands backwards to the hips and take my shoulders backwards. Keep my elbows on the inside of the legs, not on the outside. If my elbows are on the outside, by default, my frame system's broken. If my hands on the inside, by default, my frame system's strong. So we're going to get positioned. You can go hand forward and hand backwards if you want to. It doesn't really make a difference. I don't go 2 hands forward because I've given him a space to work on the inside, or you can go 2 hands onto the belt. Just be very careful of your wrists because you can get wrist lock from here. Okay. So number one thing is I'm going to try and get to a position that I have posture and try and get up for 3 seconds. Andrew's job to try and break me down. So the thing is, if I work from here, but I can start to push off the hands, and Andrew's trying to break me down, as long as I keep my posture, as long as I keep my posture, I can kind of play this really nice. And now we can start to initiate the guard pass. The two things for me is if I have my base wide in my knees, I have a good foundation. I can put my bottom down towards my heels and have my structure. The downfall for me is that Andrew can swing his hips on the inside and outside of my frame system and start to possibly drag my arm across the body. So what I want to do is once I have my frame system in place, I want to put a knee into his bottom. So now if Andrew does try to pull me forward, right. Secondly, I do a little bit of cat stretch and the legs will start to open. Okay. What I mean by that is this. Can I swap positions? Yep, this way. Is if Andrew has his knees wide, right? Very good. Okay. Good for Andrew. So I can swing my hips left and right, and more importantly, I can swing to arm bars and chokes. Where if he puts his knee in my back, every time that I go to swing, my hips drop and he can pass the guard. So we do want to get the knee into position. Every action has a negative action. Anytime that Andrew puts his knee into the posture position, it compromises his base on the side because he's so far. So if I have the ability to turn and start my sweep, I can sweep it. So for you, if Andrew goes the same way again, so he goes knee in, the first thing he's going to do is going to control this leg. And this sounds really weird, right? Is you want to open up my legs. So by default, pushing my leg down onto your own leg holds your leg into position. So what you want to do instead, you want to push my knee forwards towards me. So we're going to push it. So now, I can't swing that way and you're now free to move, to pass the guard. The second thing about it, and let's have a look at this as well, is that your grip mechanic, okay, you want to push it forward. So you want to get behind the knee line. Yeah. Like closer to the end of the lever. Why? Because for me to grab it, I have to undo my legs to sit up. Where if you grab it on top of my knee line, I don't have to do anything. So number one, knees, posture, shoulders, knee in the butt, reach backwards, grab it, push my knee forwards. I'm going to initiate the guard pass. So this is far better for you as far as it goes. I can't really swing to armbar triangle because my hips pinned in position. You're going to get the guys that think I can armbar, so all you're going to do is you're going to wait for the leg to throw over, run towards the backside and pass the guard. Now, so the thing that I found was really important for me was that when I first started to do this pass, I'd always push it down and I'd kind of lock myself into position. So the second thing is like, hey, it's like your base is compromised. Well, if you can reach back a little bit and push it forwards, this is a far better pass mechanic. The best thing about it is that you can actually go backwards. You don't even have to go forwards through the guard. You could just start to walk backwards if you want to. Yeah, and like you've got so much range because my legs pinned to the ground. Okay, so we're going to start off inside the guard. And just for a little bit, I'm going to try and control Andrew, trying to break him down. Just going to get the posture. When he's ready, he's going to try and get his knee into my bum. Leg goes backwards, reaches down at the end of the leg, and pushes my leg open. And what we're going to do for me is just for a couple of seconds, right, I want to try and stop him from passing the guard, and he's just going to try and make sure he doesn't get swept or arm barred, whatever like that. Okay, so just for a couple of seconds. Good job. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go.